Hey, this is Chris. I'm pseudocode with Chris, and I'm back working on my application. What we're doing today is refactoring the login buttons. So I've got a Firebase authentication set up in the Sapper app. You click this button, it goes to the Google authentication. And creates cookie, logs you in, all that, and then it's all in this index site. Well, that's not a really good use case. Even though it says great success, I wouldn't consider it one. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a link up here in the upper right hand corner for logging in and logging out. So we need a login buttons, even though it will be a link, we need a login buttons piece up there. So let's see. I've already created a login buttons svelte component and copied the information in my login component, which is here. But we don't need all of this functionality in the login buttons component. We do need some of it though, because we're going to log out directly from this, but the login is going to be based off of a page. So we don't need to create a login button. Because we don't need to create one, we don't need to do this on mount. And there's nothing to unsubscribe from. Let's see. We do need the sign out function if session's current user. All right. So we're going to put this as a link. And we'll have this as a link as well. Log in. All right, let me walk you through how this works. So I've got the user stored in, it's available in the stores app. And off of that, there's a session object. The session object has the user. And what we do is we check if there's a current user on the session. If there is a current user, we will show a logout. That should have corrected. We'll show a logout. There we go. I'll stop complaining. We'll show a logout button. Otherwise, we'll show a login button, and we'll have that navigate to auth/login. So we need to create an auth/login. I've already got auth. These are, I think they're server functions, but one clears the cookie and one sets the session. But we can also put our login page in there. And say this is the login page. Right, so got login buttons. We need to put those login buttons in the nav. So this is the nav, which is new. Did I show you that? Okay. So I made this navigation with Tailwind. It's responsive. So when you get down really small, it takes it responsive. But once you get wide enough, it shows that it uses Flexbox. So, sorry. We need to import the login buttons. I'll do that after a session. I'm going to move these around. Import login buttons from where are they? They're in the same directory. Login buttons.svelte. So this observes the session as well, sort of like the last one, and currently shows the logout there. We don't need to include that in there. Dashboard does need to be separate, so we'll include the login buttons. All right. That's very faint right there, but they're included. Now, there's this nav link style, which I'll apply to my login buttons, and that should hopefully fix that. That's log out, but we need to do log in, don't we? There we go. All right, so auth.login, this is the login page. Sweet. All right, I think I can just include on the login page the login component, which I've already made. So login, not loing, login, which means I now need to import it. So we'll do that in the script. Import login from up a directory, up another directory, components, login. Doesn't autocomplete that. And yes, we've got that same login component, same exact login component there is now available. Here, you see how fast Sapper is with this. I'm not sure if that one was pre-rendered. Some of my links I've got as prefetched. But the login buttons isn't prefetched, but this is just, it's really fast. So for privacy, I'm going to block this for a second and sign in. All right, I'm back. So I've signed in, and now you can see the logout and the dashboard showing up there. And the logout still shows on that. So we can remove now. Do we need to even check the session on this? I don't think we do. Right, so okay, my log out. Create login button is not defined. Ooh. So here's something. So previously it would have to reattach a login button before, but that is not on there, and I don't need to wait a tick anymore, so I can avoid importing that. In fact, that's not imported. Profile's not imported. I don't believe user is used. User is declared. Get rid of that. Right, so we've located that away, and we can remove the login from index now. See, this is where it observes the session and gets the display name. So we don't need the login component on that either. Great success. So let's log in. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to do this again. Trust you, I'm still here. Right, so it's logged in, back to home. It's got my name, Chris Ellis. Borat says, great success. And I don't have anything on the dashboard. I should probably put something there. But that's a quick refactor of the login buttons, getting them out of my index and somewhere appropriate. Let's check how they look on mobile before calling it a day. It's distracting. So, yeah, that's good. All right, well, that's it for today. Just refactoring the login buttons and doing it based off of session, moving it out of my index. So, short little video. Let me know if you have any questions. And you can follow me on Slinging Divs on Twitter. Thank you very much.